Welcome back to the Aesthetic Blueprint, a podcast of Symplast, the all-in-one platform for medical aesthetics and plastic surgeons. My name is Jes Wisner. I am the head of client education and product evangelism here at Symplast. And today I am joined by Chad Erickson of MyAdvice, the vice president of
Sales and Strategy.
Yes. That's what it was. But Chad, I am so excited to be talking to you today, and we want to hit on like what's next for 2026, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Jessica, thanks for having me today. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, obviously AI is super hot, but that's just one element of it, right? So as we're looking into 2026, since we're here at Plastic Surgery The Meeting, yet another podcast from Plastic Surgery The Meeting, 2025, we're in Q4. So we're definitely looking to 2026 now. And what is it that you are seeing is like for 2026 that everyone needs to be paying attention to?
Well, you hit on AI, and I agree that is really a lot of what's there. But AI has a lot of different meanings for a lot of different people.
This is true.
And so understanding what does that really mean for 2026, and I almost think it's worth taking a step back, because it's easy to get caught up in buzzwords. It's easy to get caught up in what I would refer to as vanity metrics. I know that, I know everyone at Symplast is so committed to KPIs, looking at real data, and we're the same. When we think about what matters, it's easy in the marketing world for people to get so caught up in, oh, my page views this, my page views that. Who cares? Did you get conversions? Did you get new business or not?
Yeah.
And so
metrics that matter.
Metrics
right?
that matter.
Yeah.
Yes. And I had a client I was visiting with last week, and he said, Chad, I had this firm I used to have, and they got me this many views on my Instagram feed. I'm like, that's awesome, great job. I'm like, how much in business was that? He's like, I guess none. I'm like, okay, so that's fun, and congratulations.
It's great to go viral. That's lovely, but
yes,
did you go viral to the right audience?
Right.
So
as we think about 2026 and kind of those ideas of where do you go with AI and other things, what I truly believe is really the thing that people need to focus on is profitable growth.
Yes.
And I say profitable growth because you can just grow a business, but it doesn't mean you're profitable. I had a client a few years ago that said, Chad, I thought we were doing great. We were growing, we were seeing people, but we were losing money. I didn't know that. All of a sudden, my office manager is telling me, oh my gosh, we're going to run out. Yeah. They weren't doing the right types of procedures. They had too many expenses. They weren't paying attention to things. And so you think about, what are your profit centers? Where's your profitable growth? Where do you need to be cutting expenses? What things matter? And so when we think about this, it really comes down to, what are you doing that with AI that's going to allow you to be more efficient without adding overhead?
Yes.
And that's a lot of our focus, is we want to make sure that all the practices we're working with are understanding that in today's world, you need to have the right processes and the right systems to pull this together. We've created an online marketing system that we call the Success Center.
Yeah, I was reading about that on your website. I am fully intrigued as a former marketer, so tell me more.
Yeah, so there's a lot of marketing companies out there, and they'll focus on, well, it's your website first. You need your website, you need this. It's like, the website might be part of it, but if you really break it down and ask somebody, doctor or practice owner, what is it you really need? It really comes down to, I need new business. It's like, well, yeah, that's what matters. That's what matters most. You want lead flow. And so, when you think about, and I'll start to ask them, like, practice owner, what does day one success look like to you? And when
that's the $1 million question.
It is the $1 million
right?
question. When you start to ask them and say, and tell me what success looks like for you in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, I never really thought about it that way. And as you start to open up this dialogue, they start to realize, okay, my website's only part of it. Maybe I need a pay-per-click campaign. Maybe it's that my reviews need to be enhanced. It might be the website is part of it, but they might have just built a website that's great. Okay, well, let's figure out all the marketing pieces that come together. So with the Success Center, we're saying, look, we can be your one-stop shop for all your marketing.
Yeah.
And we're going to make you more efficient with everything that comes in. And we have tie-ins, of course, with Symplast, not a little bit of a shameless plug. But
love it, though.
Yes.
Happy to be partners.
But what are we able to do then? It's like, okay, well, let's understand what the lifetime value is of each patient.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what they really want to know is, here's my cost per acquisition. And by the way, when you think about your cost per acquisition, maybe it's all in and you break it down over the course of the month. And let's say you spend $5,000 and you get, so many new leads and it comes out that you're $500 each or whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
$500 for a new lead. And if you convert those, and let's say it's a new facelift. Well, that facelift is now a $20,000 procedure. A breast augmentation is $12,000 to $15,000. All these things add up, and that's just the one time. Now make it even more important. The numbers say that a cosmetic patient, a surgical patient, is worth about $85,000 to $110,000. We're talking injectable fillers, we're talking neurotoxins, we're talking skincare, we're talking laser treatments, we're talking about the first breast augmentation, the tummy tuck, the mini facelift, the mommy makeover, the full facelift, the second breast augmentation. And all of a sudden over time, you're like, oh my gosh, that patient on a lifetime value is worth how much money to us? Not counting the amount of people they refer over to us.
And that compounds because that's your free advertising.
Right.
So I think what I keep coming back to in all these conversations that I've had with everyone, and I definitely know from my time doing marketing as a director for a practice, is that it's never just one element.
Right.
But it's about multiple elements layering on top of each other and then working together for building that overall relationship long term with the patient, right?
100%. So if I'm a practice today and I'm thinking about profitable growth in 2026, I'm thinking about how do I help my office become more automated and more efficient? Not removing the human touch, but I better figure out how to do tech touch with it as well. So I'll give you an example. If you know that you're a front office person who's so vital to that office.
Oh, they're the lifeblood because they're the very first interaction that you're ever going to have. Yeah,
Absolutely. But you're asking them to answer all the phone calls that come in, respond to all the emails in a timely manner, welcome everybody that comes in, and they have a lot of other, and they're checking people out. They're doing all these things. Well, are they able to respond within that 5 minutes that we hear over and over again? That
5 minutes.
5
that's
minutes.
The window. Yeah.
And yes, critical has to happen, but you've now distracted them with so many other tasks. Can they do it? Okay, let's now figure out how to automate that.
Yes.
Or automate another process on a checkout side. So thinking about those pieces is all about now business efficiency. It's all about, can we create automation to reach out to people? And I'll tell you, I firmly believe, because it exists today, it's still a little bit, I'd call it janky, but the agentic ability of AI to answer phone calls, to respond to all the questions, it's there. The technology exists. It is it's not great yet.
Yeah, I think, that's what I've definitely seen is that it's still learning. And training your AI agent is half of the battle, is making sure that you are giving it enough contextual information to be an excellent at responding to those questions, those inquiries.
But before long, they're going to be able to take all the incoming phone calls.
Yeah.
And schedule people.
Just so cool.
Yes.
So cool.
And so again, that's just one piece. Now you remove that and they can potentially do a better job than someone at the front desk. And guess what? You don't have to retrain people all the time. You've trained the agent once and it continues to learn and do its own. So I think a lot of it, that's just one example of where I think AI is going to become extremely helpful in this world.
Yeah.
But I see efficiencies and profitable growth as really the keys to success for any practice in 2026.
Yeah, so if we were to add something else that you think as far as practice growth and profitability goes for 2026, we've got AI as like a huge component of that. What's the second thing that you would put on that? If you were to say, if there's one thing other than AI that you need to think about for your practice for 2026, what would that be?
So in my world, part of what is changing at a rapid pace is the way that people are searching today. And this is still related to AI.
It really is, because, you go on Google and Gemini is answering all your questions now, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And there's also, what we're seeing is huge search increases on ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, Perplexity. And
ChatGPT knows everything I'm thinking.
I know.
It's really
and it's
scary.
Great. And if you think about it, I was reading an article this week in the Search Engine Journal, but the author said, if you think about this, there's 1 trillion searches online. If you get 1% of those to find you on the AI engines, that's still 10 billion.
Oh my God, that's a staggering number.
And so you don't need much, but 1%. If you can increase your visibility, and that's part of what we're experts in, is in doing that, increase that visibility within AI at the same time. So the ability to focus on what's happening. So search is changing immensely. SEO is not dead, but SEO has multiple names. In fact, I would refer to it as either search optimization or website optimization today, because there is the traditional SEO, search engine optimization. There's answer engine optimization, like you talked about. Like, people are getting their answers like on Gemini as they're typing stuff in. Mm-hmm. They're not actually even clicking on that. They got the answer they needed. So now what we're seeing is actually lower volume coming into websites.
Because they don't have to click through anymore.
They don't have to click anymore.
Yeah.
They're getting the answers they're looking for. It's not a conversion yet, but it's still there. And then you have the generative engine optimization, which we call GEO. And there's actually a few other acronyms out there as well. So it's evolving, but it comes down to, if I were a practice today, I would be focusing on content, very conversational content. Doing a podcast, for example, is a great way to get great content into their website, onto their brand in general, whether it lives on in Symplast world and it's linking back over, whether it's on Reddit or YouTube, these other places, social media, and it's all coming back and building this big brand. That's just part of what has to happen today. Content within a website also needs to be the written, the video, and the audio, and the images as well. We're seeing come back with lists right now that we call listicles, PDFs, infographics are actually making a big comeback right now as another way to communicate.
Infographics are making a comeback. Okay.
I know, crazy.
Look at that.
I know, we're coming full circle.
Well, and you can have, a designer make it for you, or you can go into Canva and their AI will make it for you.
Absolutely. Well, they're all tied together. And so if I'm a practice, I'm thinking about my content strategies and thinking about how to make your voice more unique than ever before. That is one of the things that has to happen is when you're writing blog articles, in the past it was about quantity and you needed to have more of that.
Didn't even matter what it was. You just put it out. If it had your keywords in it, you were like, spit it out. Yeah.
And now you may want to go through and actually remove those old blogs. They actually might be hurting the website, and you want to have blog articles that are conversational, that are longer, that are actually meaningful, that create valuable content online, and that actually differentiate one practitioner from another. It shows who you are, shows the unique nature. So if you're listening to this, start thinking about, what is my unique offering to all of this? If I were a practitioner today and thinking about what I do with my content, here's my advice. No pun intended.
I was going to say,
no pun intended.
My advice, shameless plug. Yeah.
But here's what I would do is I would think about and write down every single question that I'm asked every day by the patients that come in. And if you're not sure, ask your nurse practitioner, ask your front office staff, ask your patient coordinator, and now get your top 10 to 12 questions.
Yep.
That they ask all the time. And now answer that. And the way I would answer it is I would go into ChatGPT and I would just speak directly into it as though I were speaking to a patient with a prompt of, I want you to fix this for clarity, grammar, all these other pieces. Give it the parameters you want. But just talk like you're answering the questions to another human sitting in front of you. And if they will do that and just speak into their phone on the ChatGPT app, it will kick out the content they need.
Oh, I know. And that's one of the most powerful things I think about it. But, if I were to add anything to that is I can even say, almost 10 years ago when I was on the practice side, we actually, that idea of doing what are the top 10 questions that patients ask me, my old practice still today we made an entire YouTube series out of it. And those videos still live on the website. They're still living on YouTube, and I still get those ads consistently. And I'm watching the numbers still, even after I've left the practice, watching those numbers go up and up and up on those views, and it drives business.
Jessica, that was brilliant that you were doing that 10 years ago. I was telling people 10 years ago to do this. It was more difficult back then.
It was a big undertaking, but we took if I were to throw this out to anyone that wants to leverage that idea, if you don't mind me just interjecting really quick, is we took an entire day in office. The owner had different shirts she would change for each video.
Totally.
And so we would do okay, here's the question we're answering in this video. She'd wear one shirt, we'd film it, and then we'd stop, we'd reset everything, go to the next question, different shirt. And that was how we did it. And then I edited it over the course of a week or two. And that has lived on our website and our YouTube channel for almost 10 years now.
Awesome.
Oh God, I just dated myself. I don't think we were even filming in 4K at that time. It was that long ago that we filmed that.
Well, if we're dating ourselves, Jessica, my first ASPS meeting was in 1999. So
Oh
it
my
was
God.
over 26 years ago. So yes, it feels like a lifetime ago. So yes, I'm dating myself as well.
Yeah. But I mean, and I think that even speaks to like old strategies sometimes still work. But again, it's about all of the pieces of the puzzle, not a single solution. You have to do multiple things from
Correct.
multiple angles. Even today in the age of AI, it's even, I would say, more important.
Totally.
If we were to kind of like wrap things up a little bit
Yes.
here in a sentence, and I'm going to challenge you here. In a sentence, in a phrase, what is the one thing that practices can do to set themselves up for success in 2026 to grow exponentially? What's your advice?
Thank you.
Throw that out
my
there.
advice. I would, if I were practice, the first thing I would do is make sure that I understand all of my metrics and KPIs. Learn to become business savvy. You cannot grow what you don't measure. So you need to measure first, so that
true.
you can set that expectations for your staff. I would understand where are we at today, make sure we have a baseline, and then allow that to become set very good goals going into 2026 of where we're going to grow, what each department is responsible for. Thinking about in our own world, we use OKRs. It's the Objective Key Result
OKRs,
System.
they're beautiful.
And I would be having those discussions now. But again, first, understand where you are today. Be real about it. And it doesn't need to be in a bad way, but just be real. Where am I at today? And then where do I want to be? And you need to get everyone on the team to buy into that success going into next year. If you do that and then hold people accountable in your weekly meetings of what did they work on this week to help achieve those, that accountability will grow. And if people will work on those first, then great. All the other things we're talking about, whether it's the marketing, whether it's utilization of the software, all those parts are part of it, and they're gonna filter in. But I would say start with that first. Understand where you're at today. Really, it's critical. Know where it's at and measure by the results so that you can get stronger.
Yeah, benchmark.
Absolutely.
Benchmark, one word. That's what you need. Benchmark before you get into 2026.
Yes.
So then you know where you're starting from, so you can grow exponentially. I love that.
There we go.
So, Chad, I cannot thank you enough for coming and chatting with me. This has been a fantastic conversation. I absolutely love it. I hope we get to do this again soon. So, where can everyone find you? I'm going to give you that chance to yet again plug MyAdvice.
Perfect.
Tell everyone where they can find you and best ways to get a hold of you guys if they're interested in learning more about your success centers.
Great. Jessica, thank you. It's my pleasure today. If you'd like to get in touch with us and understand, we're happy to give you an evaluation of what you're doing well, maybe where you have some blind spots. We're here to help. You can reach us at myadvice.com. Very simple.
Super easy. Love it. Thank you so much, Chad.
Thank you.
I will talk to you on the next one. And thank you, everyone, for joining us for another episode of The Aesthetic Blueprint.